and this should be a good one because we have a Night Stalker carry. Haven't seen that in a hot, juicy minute, Cinderman.
Let the cooking commence.
This used to be your hero. For those that don't know, we're going to have to hold that thought because there's an aggressive smoke coming out.
You can hold it indefinitely if you want.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Nothing happened. Anyway, for those that don't know, Cinderan used to play Dota pretty well. Used to be a professional, well, quotations, professional player. And he was known originally, before his support days when he was completely washed up, as a Night Stalker special player.
Special? Yes, that's it.
You were known for Night Stalker mid.
I was special.
Can he break down this position 1 Night Stalker? Very cool.
I mean, things have changed a lot since back then. This is not even remotely the same hero anymore.
You're an analyst. You can still do it. Quote-unquote analyst.
I'll say, so I think what they were looking for here for Yakult was a carry that can just contest the overall mobility of Faceless Void and Void Spirit. So they wanted to get a carry that had either a silence or a good stun. And they're going to try it with the Night Stalker carry here. This is a hero that's very hit or miss when it's played in this role. One of the weaknesses Night Stalker has compared to a lot of other carries, he has no inherent way of farming. I don't think we're going to see Fly by Battle Fury or Maelstrom on this guy, because those items feel very bad during daytime. So usually what a core Night Stalker will do to find impact is play very aggressively around the map and put pressure. And maybe that's the mindset Yakult Bros have in this matchup against PARIVISION, is that if we're going to win this game and this series, we need to make them uncomfortable. We need to get them out of their comfort zone. We need to dictate the pace of the game. And with Night Stalker, Pango, and Storm as your cores, with a Coddle, you can move around the map very actively and get stuff done without a doubt. But yeah, this is very surprising. Also, Faceless Void. I don't know what's more surprising, if that's the carry Night Stalker or the Faceless Void in general.
Yeah,
being run here. But Satanic is an absolute specialist of this here. Grandmaster tier Faceless Void. In spite of being young enough to barely have had the time to ever play it, he has somehow managed to play it 300 times. So,
very impressive.
See how he puts this to use here. Of course, you were talking about, before we went live here, whether he was going to take Chrono, because perhaps this could have been a time zone game and playing it in a different position for carry, but I think if you're playing carry, you want Chronosphere 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Baboka, Spirit Sight been applied. Good calls. We'll talk about that hero in just a bit. Baboka able to ride away on his horse.
Oh, Ducalis got greedy.
Blood Grenade applied now, and that is a death for him.
Fortunately for him, the first blood sound will not be played since the singular range creep got the last hit.
Yeah.
A little bit less embarrassing. Maybe people don't notice it.
Like, I should still play anyway.
He was so greedy there. He just ran down the lane and threw out a crit
the
form.
Brambles, they're going to chase DM. Going to be able to outpace the Cold Feet. And the Goose will continue. Fly wants to try to turn around to kill off 9 class, because he was going to die anyway. So it results in a 1-for-1, but obviously the favor of that to PARIVISION.
This is one of the, I guess, bigger question marks about the Night Stalker pick. I think this hero lanes really badly against Bristol. So you're picking into knowing that this will be a DM Bristleback, one of his absolute specialties, and yeah, it's a tough time. And this is nighttime, mind you. This is going to get so much worse when we hit minute 5. What are you possibly supposed to do when daytime kicks in? We'll see.
But looking at the Void, I mean, we're looking at this, like, not the most obvious synergy with the Chronosphere. Usually you want these wombo combos. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Chronosphere, since it's been the time zone disgusting creature that is no longer a thing, it seems. But, I mean, you have, like, Exorcism. I mean, if you Chrono on top of Death Prophet, the Exorcism actually would do pretty good damage, but it is a support. Bramble, like, nothing really, no burst, I guess you could say. No huge wombo combo.
I think there is a pretty major upside to have a reliable setup for Terrorize, though. Like, it's a spell that is a bit situational. Sometimes it looks like an incredible ability. Other times it's hard to really land it. But if you have the Faceless Void guaranteeing you that as a follow-up, in a way it's kind kind of works as damage for the Void because he just gets to stick on the targets for an additional couple of seconds before they get their eventual counterplay out of the chrono.
Yeah.
And even BKBs don't really solve it. As long as you chrono them before they BKB, well, the Terrorize is going to land as well. And they'll be feared the moment they come out.
No one playing the Void Spirit, which is a hero that has catapulted back into contention as a mid-hero. Was not a hero in general for quite a while. He's on 24-6 versus his brother on the Storm Spirit 21-5. Yeah, I agree. All the spirits are pretty fun. I think the one that gets a little old if you see it literally every time is Ember, maybe.
Yeah,
but
say, for me personally, Void Spirit it's my favorite one to play together with Earth Spirit. I just think there's something about the impact, the way in which this hero takes fights being very explosive, that's super satisfying to watch in a different fashion from the other heroes. Like Storm Spirit is a lot more about continually zip in and out, do damage here and there. Ember is similar with the pokes. Void Spirit is very much get in there, burst out everything you have, and either get out or you're stuck. Like it's a little bit more on the commitment side. It's very cool to watch this being played. Nice catch here mid from no one. They get the Brambles too. Emo, serious damage taken.
Oh, he's going to bring the Void Spirit back into the fray though as Ollie joins the fight, and no one now on the retreat. Will barely live. Okay, I say that. He ends up dying anyway.
There's that case in point with Void Spirit. Sure, you're not level 6 yet, but in order for this hero to kill, you get in there. The counterplay with the TP. That's the type of kill that probably Ember doesn't die there, or maybe
not stopping
either.
As TP is forced.
Yeah, unlucky. It's daytime, Night Stalker. Enjoy your next 5 minutes of misery.
Yeah.
Of course, we will all be enjoying our 5 minutes of misery when the series is over, or the game is over. It's always nice to listen to.
Just 5 minutes only. Huh?
Yeah, he can have 5 minutes. That's enough.
So, thoughts on Death Prophet support?
I think it's pretty good. You know, this is not a new concept. This was relatively played, I want to say 2 years back. Some teams were running Death Prophet 5 quite a bit, and you get some numbers tweaks here and there. Some heroes get nerfed, some get buffed. Death Prophet was one of the winners in terms of the laning phase. Crypt Swarm got significantly better level 1, damage up from 85 to 100. It maxes out at the same at level 4, but of course for supports, more often than not, really important that you're strong in the first 5 minutes, and Spirit Siphon is a godly lane ability. It's so good. Yeah. So. Haste forced for no one. And immediately run bot.
You know, he'll have 2 charges by the time he's down there. See if he can set something up.
Now, this is very telegraphed, though. He just left the mid lane. They even saw his trajectory, so yeah, Boboka will just be TPing away. Now, this is an interesting, how to say, pivot from Yakult compared to other games they've been playing this tournament with success. Boboka plays a great Coddle, but he's not a playmaker in this game. We've generally been seeing him having massive impact on, in particular, his Magnus. He's, of course, very known for his Monkey King, and he's also known for his Ricky, like these kind of pesky heroes that just come out of nowhere and set up plays. Coddle, not really the same.
Oh, they're going to start this out onto Emo. Zips away just in time.
Yeah, close call.
You can see, I mean, Dark Willow can be super annoying to deal with if the Bramble does hit.
Yeah.
Obviously has a way to dodge a lot of the other abilities.
I suppose there's also even room for a little bit of a Aether Remnant can pull you into a secondary Bramble, perhaps. You set up the play correctly. You do have a little bit of repositioning. Willow loves playing with heroes that displace, because then, for example, if you're playing with Magnus, you can skewer people into Brambles. It's kind of Flame Break with Brambles is nice. Anything so that you can hit twice. The spell is effectively balanced around one of the Brambles hitting the hero one time, right? If you get to hit 2 or 3 times, it's one of the most busted spells in the entire game.
Yep. Sometimes very difficult to get your way out of that maze, Synderen.
Yep. I'm not sure what you mean by that when you say it that way.
I mean nothing by it.
Okay.
Because everything I say sounds sarcastic doesn't mean it is. Not. Coddle's a hero we were hyping up a lot in the last patch. What touch-ups did he get in this last patch?
He got nerfed a bit. Recall no longer gives yourself mana. And I believe that was one more main thing. The cast range bonus from Spirit Form is nerfed, in particular on level 3. So he's absolutely a worse hero than before, but I still think under similar conditions he will still be very good.
Radiant's middle tower
Main thing for Caudle when played as a support is you want to have at least one really good teammate to Chakra. That's what makes or breaks the hero.
Yeah, for sure.
And in this case, you have two, because you have the Storm to give mana, so you can keep going, and you can give Pango 2 Swashbuckles and 2 Shield Crashes, which is amazing for this hero. And technically, even Night Stalker can be interesting, because you can get 2 Voids off. Even Crippling Fear, being used twice in the fight, can be very effective. It's got 15-second cooldown on level 4. So with the Chakra, you can almost chain them together, but not fully, and that makes a very big difference. If you could 100% uptime 2 back-to-back, then all of a sudden Night Stalker can just run down a hero like Faceless Void or Void Spirit.
I was hoping to see the other facet on Night Stalker. We didn't really get to talk about that too much.
Yeah,
the one he took,
Voidbringer
obviously, is the Night Day just swapping, which means Tormentor actually will end up in the bot side of the map at 20 minutes. But yeah, the other one is the upgrade to Void, which we'll talk about in just a moment, which that moment has arrived for those that were waiting. Gives you that level 5, which is the AoE, which is the old axe on Night Stalker, which sounds really good.
Yeah, I think if you're playing carry on this, I think that one is more appealing.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you, is it really worth the switcheroo?
Because when you play offlane Night Stalker, I think a lot of the time you need Night Rain in order to get out of the laning stage, because playing offlane is very hard.
Yeah.
But playing the safe lane, if you're playing, in this case, AA Night Stalker, how big of a difference did it make that it was nighttime in the first? He died anyway in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think you could have swapped these around.
Maybe he would have died twice.
Yeah, you say that as a joke, but possibly. Like maybe it would have been significantly harder.
Why is
of
everything
course,
a joke to you?
The other thing is also Night Rain also gives you more nighttime, right? It makes the days shorter and the nights longer the entire game.
Oh, they get the silence and the Aether Remnant to follow. Emo, pretty low on HP. He's fine. Beyond, TP's in to scare the rest off, but 9 class making his way over as well. The Terrorize on top of the Bramble. Is there any other connection? Absolutely. 9 class comes in with the melee Bedlam. 9 class will likely be traded, but that is a huge kill going out for PARIVISION. Crippling Fear ending for Fly now as the Shield Crash connects onto Ducalis. And that's going to be a support kill, so 2 for 1, 2 supports for the mid laner.
No one's sticking around.
Not over yet. Dissimulate away.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Fly continuing, still has that ult activated, of course, and now the Crippling Fear on top of the Voice Spray. He's in a lot of trouble. No one stuck around too long. Satanic. Chronosphere only onto 1 as the zip into the other side of the Chrono from Emo. They will lose their Night Stalker, but Satanic, he will be brought down to his knees. Now the AA Blast greeting DM.
Damn.
And some way, somehow, Yakult brothers have made this work.
Yeah, look at him go. He's got more mana onto Emo. The brothers don't stop.
That's right.
Oh, they stop now.
Okay, well.
The brothers stop.
That's a good effort.
9 class. Okay, he wants to get in there. He's blinded
another
away.
Bedlam. That's a low cooldown.
He's in trouble now.
Spirit Siphon, or Spirit Vessel, I should say, applied to him right now. Emo.
Oh, boy.
Couple more zips and 1 swashbuckle for the road as PARIVISION is starting to fall like dominoes right now.
As it turns out, you know what's better than Emo on a Spirit Hero? Emo on a Spirit Hero with infinite mana. That'll do it. He got so much done in this fight. Just constant, non-stop in and out action with the Caudle. As long as they stay alive on both of them. During this downtime, Baboka will also complete a quad stack of Ancients now for Emo. Emo effectively ruining one of the stacks here, but... Oh, yeah. What can you do?
That's a big old juicy stack for Emo. Bit annoying for him to take, but with Baboka nearby to assist, should be fine. No enemies nearby, so this will be cleanly taken. Emo. I mean, look at his net worth. He's only in the top 4 right now.
Yeah.
Despite all the good things that have happened in the last minute and a half.
He got none of the kills, so he's only been getting assist gold, unfortunately for him. Beyond, gonna find Ducalis, still only level 5 on the Death Prophet. Easy pick, and now 9 class. No way out out of this one,
Yep.
you would think.
Well, gets the Shadow Realm off and looking for the Terrorize. Could just TP out potentially. Beyond, he will swashbuckle to death.
Okay. Well, sure, you and I going into the series were expecting PARIVISION to definitely be the favorites, but I would kind of agree with the assessment from Misery that Yakult have been looking impressive, and
I think the one thing that has not looked impressive for Yakult is their ability to finish games, which in large part has to do with not having building hitters, which, lo and behold, they also do not have this game.
true.
So we'll see. I mean, I think PARIVISION, I'm going to be real here, I think they're on a different level of most teams left in this tournament, at least from the last, and if you're taking the data from the last year. I think if they're going to be able to hold into the late game, they should fare better than some of the other teams we've seen. So if Yakult have trouble finishing, PARIVISION gets that time. I mean, with the Void, that is a scary proposition. And the late game, I mean, how well does a Night Stalker scale these days, would you say?
Oh, he can become a monster, for sure.
No one. He's crippling feared. AA Blast is there as well. Dissimulate. It looks like able to get off a couple astral steps. Is he going to tick out? Gets off the Aether Remnant. DM is here to assist, and no one is actually going to survive that.
Great escape. Very well played there from no one. But yeah, it's I'm with you that Yakult have been struggling to reach high ground mainly because of lineups, but also I think it's worth keeping in mind that PARIVISION generally don't lose map control. So if this mid-late game portion is more scary for Yakult, I think it's a good recipe to win the game, to have a lineup that is extremely oppressive on the map. Like, making PARIVISION uncomfortable getting out to find farm for a team that's usually been so good at playing that exact style, I think can be very valuable. Like, every nighttime in this game is terrifying for their side. Speaking of terrifying, Terrorize going out from 9 class, but can't follow through. Fly flow will be
Meanwhile,
fine.
Smoke got the Rolling Thunder and the Orchid
reveal
on Emo. That should lead to the kill onto no one. No escape this time for him. Cullis is level 7 now. So Exorcism at the ready.
Interesting. Fly almost has Radiance on the Night Stalker. Of course, that was the one farming item we did not mention. We mentioned the Battle Fury and Maelstrom. Can go Radiance on this hero. This might work out really well for him. Of course, you are a hero that's a lot of the time in the center of the fight. So could do some good Radiance damage. It gives you some tank ability against heroes like, in particular, Faceless Void and Bristleback.
Yeah.
So I like this. I wasn't sure. I thought he was going to go for some sort of tempo build with Armlet, just looking at their lineup, but full on getting the Radiance in just a minute now. Should give them a nice next night time. 4,000 lead here for the bros. The Super Yakult brothers.
Ollie buys a Midas on AA. That's a blast from the past right there.
An Ice Blast from the past, if you will.
LOL.
Just an Ice Blast from the present. Not enough. Please never say LOLOL again.
LOL.
That makes you sound like an AI.
LMAO. ROFTL.
ROFTL. Rolling on floor to laugh.
No. Wait. Oh, yeah, I did say that. I did say that. Shit.
That's okay. Oh, close call.
Yeah.
If they would have done any damage there, the recall would have been canceled on Emo. Could have got interesting, but they didn't manage to get him out of there. Ducalis, this experiment of Death Prophet 5 so far has definitely been a miss here. Can't say it's the hero's fault in the lane. The lane went fine. It's what came after. It's difficult for Death Prophet to play into AA. It's difficult to play into mobile heroes. And guess what you're facing? Literally only mobile heroes.
Yeah.
So, Yakult brothers with a good understanding of what makes that hero tick and avoiding to enable that. 9 class will run into Baboka. Does he have the damage? Baboka is very tanky. And yeah, he doesn't.
He's just going to go for the TP.
Baboka with the Holy Locket, soon to be Ags. He is very farmed on Caudle.
Wow.
6,000 net worth to the 3.6k of the Willow, so ahead by more than 2,000 here.
That is quite the discrepancy, I would say.
And that's worth keeping in mind when you make your assessment for late game, because yes, Faceless Void is late game king, right? He always was, but
And Signet on Caudle's crazy.
the supports on Yakult scale very well and can get super rich. And yeah, this is an unleashed Searing Signet on the Caudle with the greedy aspect, so very, very strong, and will get able to get a lot of more teamfight impact and farm with this one, Baboka.
Already a 5k lead for Yakult. But what do they do? I'm not saying that we're at that stage yet, but let's say they maintain this lead. Let's say it's like the other day. Maintain this lead, maybe grow it a little bit. They get Roche. Try to go high ground. Do you need to get picks before
Radiant
doing
are
so?
scanning.
Like, how do they just go straight up high ground? You don't have a Medusa that can sit there.
You can't. Your lineup's just not good at that. So you need to... But that's where, again, that's where it's important that if you have a lineup that can't siege very well, if it can map control very well, you can win by 50,000 gold, right?
Yeah.
That's how some of the... During the period when Falcons was just the team to beat, a lot of their games, they actually didn't necessarily have good sieging heroes. They just controlled the map super aggressively and had heroes that were very difficult to access. And that's what I feel like Yakult's lineup is here. If you're ahead and it's nighttime, it's extremely difficult for the other team to get out of base. All of these mobile cores that have different ways of catching, the Caudle that can bring players around. Like, Caudle, to me, is one of the most broken heroes in Dota when you're winning. Because you're always +2, right?
Yeah.
When he gets the shard, anyone gets jumped on or anyone sees a moment of opportunity, you recall yourself to them, you recall an ally to you. You just run them over. Oh,
Speaking of...
Good read. Very good read. I think maybe he saw them.
Tormentor
Not
is
sure.
available for the taking. Past the 20-minute mark. I was going to say it's at bottom, but he turned it to night, so not the case.
Dire's top tower
No, it's
is
still
under
at bottom.
attack.
Wait, does it not work that way?
It just swaps sides every 5 minutes, right? It's not about... Wait, no, it doesn't.
Dire's
I
top
can't remember this,
top
Shannon. It's
tower.
always so confusing with Night Stalker.
Dire's
Nobody
top
plays this hero,
tower is
including me.
under attack.
Huh. I guess it's true, because, I mean... Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so it is bottom now, which makes sense because it's minute 20.
That would
Usually
be-
it's top at minute 20.
Oh, so it is, yeah.
It is
okay.
correct, but
Yeah.
but the interaction with his ult, whether he turns night to day, should not affect where it is, right? It's not following his ulti, it's just following the day-night cycle of the game,
Okay.
I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess.
Otherwise, when a team is doing torment, you just pop ult. and
I was going to
send it
say, that
away.
would be a hilarious
Yeah.
counter, actually. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
And then when you're about to kill it with Night Stalker, Phoenix uses ulti, you teleport to the other side.
That would be so sick. One day.
Yeah.
Dota 3, maybe.
Invisibility.
Radiant are scanning.
What big items do we have coming up? So Emo is about to get BKB. On the side of PARIVISION, also BKB almost completed for Satanic. So big items inbound. We've seen no one just pick up his Axe on Void Spirit. He is very poor, by the way. This has been a tough game for him. 0-3.
Yeah.
He has the same net worth as the Caudle on the Void Spirit. So leaves a lot to be desired here. Anything else on the docket here that's interesting?
That's
Not
most
in
of the lead, too,
particular.
feels like.
Yeah, it's a big part of it at least. The Caudle now with Ags closing in on the Shard as well. Baboka is going to be a monster in this. You see 9 class hunting here. He has a good ward, but literally 0 backup. I don't think he can solo any of the Radiant heroes except the AA. So he's kind of hoping that he's going to run under this ward and get trapped instead. They are going to make a smoke move that might not be the most obvious to PARIVISION that this one's going to hit and where it's going to hit.
Yep, all 5. Night Stalker at the ready.
Dire's bottom tower
Has the
is under
Radiant.
attack.
BKB not quite there
Radiant's
yet, though.
top tower is under attack.
Just the recipe away. Maybe they just go Roche. I guess that is the case.
Seems like it. Not the best Roche lineup, but faster than you might expect. Of course, Pangolier will help with this.
Looks
lucky
to be
shot.
fully uncontested. Assuming Emo takes this.
Yeah, for sure.
we've been sure before, and
I was pretty confident when Night Stalker ran out of the pit.
yeah.
Oh, Ducalis going to get spotted here. He has Glimmer, but they have the dust.
They do.
Trying for a TP out. Not going to happen. Emo will finish the job.
All right, so Yakult have that Aegis. How much can they get out of this one? This is, we talked about their lack of building hitting. There's 3 tier 2s and a tier 1 bot still up and running.
Yeah, top tier 2 should be the first point of contention here. But as always, with Night Stalker in your lineup, you got to be a little bit wary of timings here, because you used NS ulti there. And that means that in 45, or excuse me, in 1 minute, you're going to have 40 seconds of daytime before you can use your ult again. And during that period, even if you have Aegis, you're rather weak when this guy's not online. Flyfly is going to complete a BKB, though, so that's the good news for him.
Yeah, that's probably the thing they've
away.
been waiting for before grouping up a little bit more traditionally.
Yeah. Is a big upgrade for him, and of course, level 20, or excuse me, level 15 talent as well. The 20% status resistance on Hunter in the Night. Can you believe this was 35? The first version of this talent. It was so beyond broken.
Oh, the status resist?
Yeah. It was 35, then it got nerfed to 25, and then to 20.
Yeah,
it was almost half as good as the first version.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I don't know who
too
thought
shabby.
that was fair.
No, Flyfly gonna pound away at the tier 2. There's a defense mounting, though. No one with a double astral into the Aether Remnant. The Will-O-Wisp to try to counteract this, though. BKB just delivered by Flyfly. He's gonna activate it immediately. No one left to assimilate away. AA Blast will be avoided as a result. But Emo, with the help of Beyond, looking to finish off the Void Spirit. No one is done.
Where's Satanic?
He's stunned up by the cold feet as Beyond hits him on the way out.
Wait, what happened? Satanic doesn't have TP?
Oh, but the TP is going to be canceled thanks to the Chronosphere. Do they have any follow-up, though? They don't need it. That is more than enough damage from Satanic. Emo takes out 9 class, though, as Beyond drops to the deck. As Satanic trying to continue on to Baboka. Emo still has a decent amount of mana to work with, and of course has that second life, but it matters not for Baboka. Can't save him. The Bash looking for it. No.
Bad luck for Satanic there.
There it is. There's the
Yeah, of course. You get all of them afterwards when you don't need them. Makes sense. Wow. I'm confused how that fight even broke out. No one just committed in and opened with 2 astral steps into the Night Stalker and broke open the fight. But Satanic, look where Satanic is on the minimap right now. He's farming his triangle and doesn't have a TP. I think just miscommunication here. Like, considering that the Void doesn't have TP, I think that fight is just not one you want to take. But at the end of the day, they kind of got a decent result out of it, surprisingly.
Yep, they did not burn the Aegis. Emo burns a BKB. It'll be at the reward of 9 class, though, and this should be the Aegis now. Oh, okay, never mind.
Class will get a shard in the grave.
Oh.
It's a feels good one. The Cursed Crown will spawn brambles. Emo keeps going.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Gets the zip on into the Void Spirit. The silence to follow. Will-O-Wisp is going to miss. Onto the high ground they go to try to take out no one again, and they will be successful. Ducalis, in the meantime, surrounded and taken out as well. So after praising PARIVISION, they've lost 2 here. No one continues to struggle in this game number 1.
Yeah, this carry Night Stalker pick has worked out quite well, I have to say. A cool idea with good results so far. It's the 5th death of Void Spirit.
He
Yet
desperately
to
needs
get a kill.
BKB.
Dire's top
Yeah.
tower is under
It's
attack.
going to be a game changer to get that. I guess you could make a case that maybe a Force Staff on him would have been a cheaper
Dire's middle
partial
tower
solution
is
to
under
Night
attack.
Stalker, but it's just, you need the BKB anyway, right? So you might as well
Yeah.
shoot for the stars. But perhaps then 9 class could have bought a Force Staff instead of his dagger as a way of protecting his core. It's just very... Dark Willow rushing Blink is a pretty selfish build. It sets you up for kills nicely, but you don't offer the same amount of utility when your teammates are getting jumped.
Satanic going for a Scott, so it seems to be position 1 flavor item right now.
Yeah.
Say, Scotty. on
Feels good to
basically
get
everyone.
stats.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Could see that maybe getting a little bit of the nerf if it's considered this good.
Yeah, I don't
There's
think
not
it's
like
gonna-
any anti-healing or anything anything like that matters as much this game.
Oh, wow. They didn't go on him there?
Yeah, that's...
Did they not notice the recall?
I mean, it's a pretty obvious visual effect.
Yeah.
is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, either way, I still feel very strongly that PARIVISION, if they could just delay the game, they will have
I
a
definitely
really good
shot.
advantage late game.
Dire's structures.
They have a good shot without a doubt, but there are some late game monsters on the Radiant side. Late game Pango can be crazy, so can Storm.
Dire's top tower.
Ice Blast on Satanic. Emo's going for it.
Yep, the big ol' zip in, but Satanic.
Ice cold. The fact that he doesn't even BKB there, I think that was what Emo was banking on. He kind of wasn't expecting to get the kill, but he thought the moment I jump him, he's going to BKB. Nope.
I mean, look at his face, man.
Ice cold.
This is the most casual guy. Nothing phases him,
Yep.
other than extreme boredom, which we've noticed a time or two. Just don't buy Divine Rapier, and you won't have to sit in base the whole time. This does feel like one of those carries, though, that will do enough damage without Rapier.
Oh, yeah.
Dire's top tower
sure.
is under attack.
Just need crit and attack speed, and you're there. Because you have the one of the best stuns, if not the singular best stun in all of Dota.
And it's actually a pretty bad butterfly game, so looking at the enemy lineup.
Yeah, he's also not planning for it. He's planning MKB.
For the Radiance
Are
and
scanning.
Blinding Light, I suppose.
That's good for sure.
30-minute rune. Ult activated
Big
by the
fight
Night Stalker.
coming
They
up.
give up the DD rune to Emo, though. Now the Crippling Fear upon the Dark Willow. They find no one, though. That's a big prize. Another death for him, as 9 class is cleaned up shortly after. Now the AA Blast reserved for the Bristleback, as DM tries to retreat, but the Will-O-Wisp brings them back into the fray. Chronosphere still available, as Ollie's going to be taken out by Satanic eventually. To the high ground, the Death Prophet goes, but 3 dead for PARIVISION. They're bleeding out.
Oh, he froze.
Satanic will have to beat KB. Actually, Chronospheres to take out the Storm Spirit. That's a huge kill. Gonna get the Pango apparently as well. Nope. Able to get the shield crash off. But the bashes continue onto the Night Stalker. Fly is dead. Satanic, a one-man army on top of Beyond. Time dilation. Not gonna be enough to catch up here. Salvages that fight single-handedly. And if no one can get any spells off in these fights, man, this is rough.
That was a 2v5, and Satanic killed 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
He's
tower
300
is under
away,
attack.
or now 100 away from finishing BKB.
And he's almost level 25. The next hero is level 20. You see the replay. This is such a good fight from Yakult.
It's a very rare cold feet activation.
But this jump is really costly. You've got to be so careful, but at the same time, props to Satanic. He's so quick. Just instant
bash.
reaction to the zip in. He was anticipating it was coming, was ready with the chrono.
Look at how calm he is. That's not him, by the way.
Nope. He's pretty calm, too. And interestingly about Ducalis' background, there actually has a poster of Satanic in the backdrop as well, behind his couch.
The baby.
Very, very big fan of Satanic. That's not a baby.
The baby picture.
Not a baby.
It's that meme.
Yeah, but it's not a
Are
baby.
scanning.
It's not?
No, I forgot what he's called.
What he's called?
Now, am I mixing it up? Isn't that the... Yo, we gotta see this. Show us the background of Ducalis here. The backdrop.
That's a baby.
No, it's not. What's his name? I can't remember. Anyway. You and Mike Tyson would get along well, because that was a very funny clip.
Is that the same person?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
I think so.
All right, Rolling Thunder from Beyond. Not able to find any stuns here. There's no one. Getting gone on again. He does have the BKB this time. Fly. Already popped his with a Crippling Fear. No one. Can see Astral Step on the Fly trying to run away. They have the dust. They see him now, but they can't catch up. Night Stalker too elusive right now. As DM. They see the AA. Almost
not
3-shots
enough.
him. Still no kills here. Violence onto the Pango. Can't get to the other side of the cliff. Gonna get chased, but has the swashbuckle. Now the time dilation. Gets his roll up off. But he's gonna get slowed to a crawl as the AA blast is coming, but likely all for naught for the Pango. Meanwhile, they do eventually find the Night Stalker. Ooh, Resonant Pulse. Last moment is enough. So 2 big core kills in favor of PARIVISION. That was a really elongated fight. Chronosphere was never used, or just wasn't up, maybe.
He had it for the Pango kill, but didn't need it. So
I see.
Dire's top tower
How is
is under
Satanic level
attack.
25? It's actually ridiculous. What a guy. It's good to have in your team, you gotta say. You'll bash the ever-living crap out of Roshan.
Into the pit.
And this is a gimme. Now, who do they put it on? Will it be him? It will. A little bit of a banner there as well for DM.
So Satanic, fully loaded with the Aegis.
Has fallen.
MKB, well, it's still pretty far away, I guess. That's the next power spike for him, though. You can start hitting the buildings as this mid-tier 2. Looks to be worse for wear. And with this Aegis, in terms of net worth, getting close to equalizing for PARIVISION. See, what's Fly's next power spike? Going for Basher, it looks like.
Onto the Collis. Dust.
Yep, the Crippling Fear still upon him. Will drop. Fly BKBs. Astral Step. Not going to be able to catch up. Fly's ult too good. He's got his shard as well to be able to eat these creeps.
Num num num.
One of the coolest shards in the game. Or satisfying, I should say. I love that one.
It's nice. But yeah, this is the story of a lot of carry Night Stalker games. I say as if there's been a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Gets opened up on. AA Blast hits. They just want to try to get the Wisdom Shrine, but it's not going to be. Oh, Emo actually jumps back in. Did they actually cancel the TPs to help DM? I feel like that might have just happened. So Emo gets the Shrine. Maybe they saw it.
Honestly, really nice play call there from Yakult, recognizing that the TPs coming into the tier 2 were indeed canceled, including the Faceless Void. Giving them the opportunity there to re-engage, go for a bit of a punish. And this, honestly, the dynamic in this game is super interesting to watch because this is truly, there's like King of the Hill Satanic, and then the drop-off is massive. But Yakult have so many rich heroes, including the Coddle, now 1,000 ahead of Void Spirit. Baboka is so rich, he almost has Wind Waker now against the Chrono. But Satanic, anticipating it, will get the Nullifier at the exact same time to deal with that inevitable problem that Faceless Void always runs into.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Aghanim Scepter finally there for Beyond. You see that a lot earlier usually, but he opted to go for Spirit Vessel, Blink, and Shivas beforehand. A little change of pace in terms of ordering for the Pango.
Just want to point out, Satanic's team combined are 7 and 23 in this game. So, a little bit of a mountain to climb here for him, but he's up to the challenge.
And the tier 4s are starting to come now. Oh my god, they have 4 Gale Guards right on the PARIVISION side. Alright, well those are going to change in all likelihood.
He's going to business now, up to the high ground.
Yeah, able to poke a bit. He's got his shard now, so the reverse time walk is there, and it gives... Does it still give extra cast range on time walk? I believe so.
Yeah.
It's a pretty damn good one.
How do they kill this guy? I think they're just not going to try. But at the same time, Emote down bot will get opened on.
Going to get stunned on the right side of your screen. Emote will be able to zip away, though. But in the meantime, Ducalis and his Exorcism are no joke. Applying a lot of pressure to this tier 2 top. It's Astral Step now on the other side from Noah. They're going to focus on the Coddle instead. Baboka is dead right next to his fountain. He has no way to get back into the game either. As a Terrorize on top of the Pangolier. Do they have enough damage to actually rip through this? Ducalis is taken out eventually by Fly. They do find the Pango in the end. Some huge kills for PARIVISION if they can get away on no one. Astral steps to the other side. A nice Chronosphere. Going to hold one in place. Keeps no one alive as well, but he gets AA blasted to the face. Satanic going in very deep, but Fly eating a creep to stay alive. Still has that ability to traverse terrain. Satanic trying to chase, but Emo able to get to the other side of the wall. Pops the BKB as he walks away with no mana to speak of. 3 dead for Yakult. And PARIVISION have only lost 1 support.
Yeah, Emo's butler is dead. So he runs out of juice.
That is 1 lane of barracks for PARIVISION. 20 seconds on this Aegis.
They'll keep
Certainly
going.
poke a bit more. If not, get another set of racks outright. Of course, against the Storm Spear and Night Stalker, 2 cores. Have to be a bit careful. Faceless Void actually goes for the Outworld staff. Interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more wrong on this one.
Oh, maybe they're all wrong.
I have yet to see it do anything, if I'm being honest. Well, that's not true. Silencer once got a global silence off because of it. In another game, of course. Yakult about to have 5 back. Satanic and company really want to get this second set of barracks.
They'll do it. Bristol.
And it will fall. And PARIVISION, if they can get away cleanly, they will be at a massive advantage now. 2 lanes at 39 minutes of the game. And only half the tower taken as well. So the gamble not really paying off for Yakult at all. And we talked about their building hitting. If they had building hitters, that could have been something. But PARIVISION just called their bluff.
Yeah, and now things are about to get much worse. Not only are we down 2 racks, but Satanic has a double damage bottled up right now. Ready to go. Chrono in 30 will line up nicely with this rune still being available at that time. And he can effectively kind of just pick his target and kill them, right? There's no counterplay. They have 1 Wind Waker that he can nullify off. So anybody he finds should just be dead on the spot. That's a good find, though.
Yeah.
For Fly. That will delay the Lincolns that Satanic almost had completed. Now we'll activate the rune. Well, I guess it won't be put to use for a fight.
Wait, what did he buy Lincolns for? Orchid? You have the BKB.
Storm has a Hex.
Oh, Hex on top of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Who am I to question that guy?
You can buy whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right. 9 class. Hiding away. We'll blank away too.
Yep, he's fine.
Was about to
Question
TP out, but he canceled it, so it looks like PARIVISION want to stick around and fight here.
Yeah, I was going to say, do they want to wait for this courier? It's quite a while. It's another 3 minutes, so going to opt to not wait for the Lincolns on Satanic.
Oh, they're just going to force them back here. Okay, this is a very telegraphed move from Yakult, right? You have your mid and top waves that are going to be pushing in from the bigger creeps since the barracks are down. So PARIVISION know that they have to come back, and they're already setting up the push.
Yep.
They're caught with their pants down here. They're way out.
DM is no joke. You don't need Satanic. Fly. Going to be spotted here eventually. Gets silenced, forced out the BKB and ult as well. The Rolling Thunder along with the zip onto the bot side, but they're going to re-aggress as Emo's already out of mana here. Satanic is who they want to kill. Has the Chronosphere at the ready, but able to get away pretty cleanly right now as the Will-O-Wisp will be cleaned up as well. As 9 class having a battle against Night Stalker apparently. No one will join the fight. Curse Crown about to activate. And Fly should be going down. 90 seconds of no Night Stalker as PARIVISION in prime position to end this game. Big ol' zip, not able to get that last wave, but DM will be able to get some pop shots. Yeah, the top lane pushed in already. Satanic and company still have pretty much everything at the ready. They don't have Exorcism, but Chronosphere up. Will-O-Wisp just to try to delay along with the Blinding Light, but 60 seconds is way too long. And Night Stalker, 1,300 gold away from buyback, so not even picking up some bounty runes will help the cause here.
Now 9 class has a Hex too on the way. We'll be able to just blink Hex someone. It'll be a very surprising move. But yeah, this is easily going to be megas now for PARIVISION.
And the Hex from Emo. AA Blast not going to find the connection they wanted. Rolling Thunder used from beyond. But it's not going to feel too effective at this stage of the game without any follow-up. So with that, PARIVISION,
Do they have megas?
They know that
3K.
I mean, they know that
so
Night
weird.
Stalker does not have buyback. Very obvious. What'd you say?
It's just such a weird gold breakdown for a game like this.
Yeah.
They have megas, but they're down 10 kills and up 3k gold.
It feels like
bizarre.
this patch, we've seen a few games with some similar...
Yeah.
Like, we've definitely seen some games that are weird in the net worth department. Not sure what it is, though. As Roche, the final nail in the coffin in all likelihood for PARIVISION to take out Yakult in this game 1. Ice Blast will scout them out, but Night Stalker actually pops his ult.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go for this, right? You can't just give them this for free. So even if they get the Aegis, you still want to fight
Big
Emo?
ol' zip from Emo. The Chronosphere used, he actually kills off Roche, so the snatch for Satanic, he gets what he really wanted, which is that Aegis. Looks like the Night Stalker's gonna be able to finish off the Death Prophet. In the meantime, Satanic can go to town on Emo with the 2 lives available, and their base is getting decimated by creeps right now. Will-O-Wisp not going to have too much of an effect as Fly in a 2 versus 1 right now. No one will pop the BKB as Satanic wants to join the party onto killing this Night Stalker. He's going to pick up the Invis. No, he's not. He's going to fake it out. The Aether Remnant not going to hit. And this is a very long chase, but well worth it as Night Stalker in the grave for 90 seconds. So they've lost 1 tier 4 to the creeps during that engagement.
And Satanic still has a chrono because he got the refresher. And he's gonna find Emo.
There it is. Does he have the damage? Aether Remnant, just in case. Satanic double kill. Buyback is available for Emo. Again, they should be pretty confident that Night Stalker does not have his. So they'll go for the game win in this game 1. Satanic with the time walk, reverse time walk now. The Hex coming out. AA Blast to follow. Satanic. That's going to be life number 1 in all likelihood. He actually gets to the other side. Is he actually going to survive this? And Emo has to go back to base. Satanic is super low, about to crack to that AA Blast, but no. The zip.
Good thing he waited.
The 2 lines align in the end. So that's life number 1 for Satanic. Last tier 4 will fall. Going to try to blow everything onto Satanic, but there's only so much they can do. Electric Vortex to start for Emo. Pops the BKB. DM. He gets hit once. He's like, okay, never mind. Emo doesn't want to deal with the Bristleback right now. Still no GG's called. 20 seconds on the Night Stalker, but the buildings, or the building, I should say, will fall before that surely. Will-O-Wisp going to be a bit of an annoyance as 9 class with the Terrorize onto the Storm Spirit. Satanic. Time dilation, but no bashes to come. Instead, he's going to reserve his right clicks for the Ancient. We'll actually have to re-aggress.
This is dicey now.
Yeah, it's a bit... They don't have that great of building damage, it seems. The Satanic does eventually fall. 90 seconds on the deck, and now no one left alone with the other 2 members of PARIVISION. And Beyond and company will try to defend with all their heart. They will do
succeed.
so.
Yep, this is not over yet.
As the Bristleback cleaned up eventually. Double kill for Fly. A Dagon for the AA to be able to kill the Catapults. And PARIVISION, they can play this safe. They can maintain all of these buybacks because we talked about Yakult and their inability to push towers.
Yakult have been here before, though. It took Nigma quite a while to break the base in their Tinker game yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. They're good at defending. This is a bit of a different beast in PARIVISION, though, especially when you're talking about Chronosphere.
Yeah.
So Lincoln's obviously online for Satanic now, and Refresher is next on the list. That was, of course, the Refresher Shard.
Yep.
And how many sheep sticks do we have in this game? Man, this item is being bought so consistently now.
I'm just going to say, this could take a while.
Think so?
Yeah, it actually could take a while. You don't have Roche for a very long time for PARIVISION. Yakult have just proved that they can kill your Void.
Yeah.
And you still have Glyph. And you managed, with these death timers, you managed to push out all of the waves across the river. So this is not just, oh, let's spawn, go down mid and win. Like, this game is not over yet. Of course, PARIVISION, make no mistake, they're way ahead, and this is clearly their game to lose. But as far as Mega Creep games go, when's the last time you saw a team get Mega Creeps and then immediately be behind on gold in the mid game, and the enemy team hit some power timings, right? You get level 25 on the Night Stalker, you get level 25 on Pango, you get level 20 on AA. All of these talents just came up from that previous fight. 7k lead, you're out on the map. I think the worst thing that PARIVISION can do now is take this game for granted. Like, you need to make sure you don't slip up and just, like, oh, we have megas, whatever, and then feed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, sure, they don't have the best push, but, like, Night Stalker is hitting for 400 damage now. He can take towers. If you mess up, you could lose the 3 lanes yourself.
So it all comes down to the buybacks then, I suppose.
What do you think the win expectancy is?
95-5?
23-77.
You're kidding.
It was about 95-5 before they died, right? After they got the megas. That one fight, it's... Well, you've talked about this. We don't know how much.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good start.
That's one of them.
9 class, Abyssal Bladed, and Evaporates. Minute on the deck.
And this is such an ironic game state to be in because you're mega, but you have total map control. Because again, like we talked about way earlier in this game, when you're ahead as Yakult brothers, you control the map very, very well. Gotta be careful about how you go out.
Looks like the focus right now is on to Satanic. He's ice blasted. He's crippling feared. He's stunned. Lotus applied. He gets off the timeout at the last moment, though.
Oh my God,
to the left
he's
side,
low.
barely survives. And a DM, all he ties to a neutral creep at 49 minutes. Ducalis eventually will drop. So including that kill earlier on 9 class, it's a 2-for-1. And DM gonna slow this Pango to a crawl. Aether Remnant is there as well. And Satanic.
Dilation owns this hero.
Absolutely. That's a buyback onto the AA. They have another one for Beyond if he needs to expend it.
They were like 200 damage from killing the Void. A little worse luck on backtrack. And maybe he dies there. He would have had buyback, but imagine he has to expend that. How this could have all gone down, but stayed alive. Very close call for Satanic. And now with Pango dead, they want to run down the other way. Still, the buyback is available, so you have everything on the side of the Radiant still. Got to be careful for PARIVISION in this 5v4, essentially, in the enemy base. Baboka will TP. Oh, he's bringing Emo up here and bringing himself away. He's effectively trapping his Storm. They're onto the Bristle in mid.
They're going to start things out on the Bristle. Maybe not the best target. Terrorized right now. Hitting the Night Stalker. They force out the Pango buyback. There's the Pango. They find a connection again onto 9 class. And again, doesn't have buyback. We'll see if PARIVISION want to take it a little bit easy in this 4 versus 5. Of course, creeps are continuing to enter the base with the Mega Creep advantage. They find Fly Though. The Yules.
Okay, he got Wind Waker. He has BKB.
And he does get off the BKB. Still could die within it, though, if he's not careful. No one. Actually pops a little bit premature BKB. The Astral Step to follow. Satanic continuing to try to chase. The Aether Realm is going to bring him back. The Hex now onto Satanic. He does have his Chronosphere at the ready. Will actually fake it out as Emo dodging to the other side. Going to the north now as DM will greet him. Flyflight feels like this is a constant chase on the Night Stalker.
He has Silver Edge again. He might
able to get out. They
here.
don't have vision.
No one has
he's
gem.
Fine.
No one has gem. He's not going to check north. He's checking south. And
wait.
Oh my God. This is
he
crazy.
survives, but the Mega Creep's a constant thing you have to deal with.
Yakult late games are just something else, man. How does this happen every game?
I don't know.
Win or lose, these late games are just crazy.
I mean, you can start planning around this and perhaps get a Treant Protector type lineup or a Lich, get that talent that I think they still have that, right? You heal the building. Wait, did they get rid of that? Maybe they did.
I don't remember.
Building healing.
Yep. Get a repair kit.
Hell yeah, we all missed that one.
When you think back through the history of neutral items, there were some that were just stupid.
Caught in the Bramble. DM here as well. Doesn't have BKB for 10 seconds as 9 class again deleted. He seems to be the choice for Yakult as Flyfly trying to apply some pressure to Ducalis. Spirit Siphon doing a good amount of work. He's actually super low.
He's gonna eat an
barely get out for now. Eats a creep. Emo very low on mana as Flyfly trying to use the terrain to his advantage as the Rolling Thunder coming in from beyond. Tons of creeps in the base that poor AA has to deal with somehow.
In the meantime, they killed Emo with no one in Satanic.
Oh,
he has no buyback.
2 minutes on the deck. That's a huge one in favor of PARIVISION. Blast not going to do too much, and Caudle looks next on the list for PARIVISION, and now the Exorcism to try to get the Ancient to finally explode, and they're going to have a network deficit with this win. Oh, the buyback just came.
Oh, he
for
just got it
Storm,
ready.
though.
Okay, it's just still not over then.
Radiant's Ancient is
They're going to continue to hit this building. Fortification is up as the Satanic is going to get hexed. They're going to put everything they can onto this Void, but he's fine. Just turns around and right-clicks a bit onto Fly. The Nullifier applied as well. He's dead. Does have buyback, of course. Expends it immediately. 9-class finally found his. He buys back in addition. Building. Still exposed here as Ducal is getting super low. Doesn't have Exorcism for much longer. They finally force out the Fortification. They're still going for these heroes. They can probably just go all in on the buildings now if they really want.
Yeah.
As DM is doing exactly that. Will be able to find it in the end as GG is called. They want a couple more kills for the road before the Ancient explodes. PARIVISION versus Yakult. PARIVISION did take game one. It was definitely the most exciting game of today. That's not saying much out of the first series, of course, but I'm expecting this to potentially go 3 sooner. That looked very close. I think we talked about it time and time again with the Yakult brothers. It feels like they do a good job of getting to the mid-game, either having a lead or at least keeping it even, and then they just run out of steam because they just don't have building hitters. But hey, there's a Luna. She can definitely hit some buildings.
And they have their, in my opinion, star of the show, Baboka Magnus. They've got it this game. We've seen them play it a couple of times on him, and he's looked incredible. So the expectations are high, but this is not the easiest Magnus game. You're playing against an instant Hex from Shaman. You're playing against Fissure. And this is, of course, a mid-shaker. You're playing against one of the carries in the game that are hardest to RP in the Ursa. And even if you land it, there is the false promise. So he's got his work cut out for him. But considering that this is the type of lane that you would think Ursa, in general, wins pretty easily against the Darkseer, they've done an interesting thing here by cutting through the wave with not 2, but 3 heroes to prevent that from becoming a problem.
They're going to deny out of this at the very low. Actually, do not.
But of course, the Oracle can just remove the Ion Shells with the Fortune's End. A classic counter pick.
Yeah, it's good to see Oracle back. Been a hot minute. I think we cast one the other day.
Yep.
False Promise, obviously a very powerful save. And Panel was talking about Fate's Edict being super powerful, which is, I think, the main reason I feel like this hero should be picked more often. But
yeah, it's really strong. It's
great.
great.
Yeah, you're right. Against Darkseer, it's a no-brainer.
It's a great spell against Storm if anyone else than you gets jumped. But if you get jumped, it's tough to use it. Of course, that matchup has changed over time. Like, this was a matchup that Oracle used to absolutely despise, but now that you get more gold, a lot of the time you can maybe force a Glimmer Cave for yourself. If you could afford that, you might just survive the initial jump and get all your spells out. Oracle is very binary in that sense, that in the mid-late game situations, honestly, you want to cast 2 spells, and that's Fate's Edict and False Promise. And everything else, when you can get them off and they're meaningful, great. You just want to make sure you get off at least your big save.
Yeah.
So 9-class will go for a Shackle onto Fly. With the help of DM, big damage.
Yep, he'll stop the follow as well. As Fly will take another double edge, and the last right click is what was needed for 9-class. Might drop to Ollie's right click, although his innate goes off, so will live. And that's a very, very big deal. First blood, well, it went to the Shadow Shaman. DM obviously would have preferred it, but either way, taking the Luna out pretty early. Doesn't really lose much XP. All the creeps are still reserved for her. But regardless, that first blood gold will be put to good use. Satanic gets Wild Wing Rippered there for a moment. And what do you think of the Ursa this game? We've seen it kind of fall flat at times, but
yeah,
haven't seen Satanic on it. At least you and I haven't.
It's a pretty damn good game for it. You're one of the better carries against Luna because you get up nice, close, and personal, and you can just beat the crap out of her even through Lunar Orbit. You have the good laning stage against Darkseer. You're a hard carry to RP and take advantage of with the repositioning. And you're one of the few carries that can kill Storm because if anything stuns Storm, you have the highest burst in that small stun window to try to get the kill. So there's a lot of upsides to the Ursa here. And you also kill Ench. It's just a really intelligent pick here, let's say, out of PARIVISION.
Yeah, I think the only Ursa game we watched, I forget who was playing, but they didn't get a single Roche, I believe.
Yeah.
And that does feel like a requirement for the hero. I mean, actually, do you think that's true still? That definitely used to be the case.
Not as much, but it still definitely is a big part of what makes the hero good, is the ability to take Roche, so you still feel like you get snubbed if you don't manage to take it down. Ursa can generally kill Roshan with the help of one hero. In this case, he would probably do it with the... guessing maybe the Shadow Shaman and him later on. Just cast all of Shaman's spells on the Roche.
Well, no one looking for some retribution. Oh, Enchant Totem onto Emo. Try to get this water rune. He will get it. And he's off to a pretty good start.
Well, you say that.
Yeah, gets off the fissure onto 2. Baboka made his way over the skewer onto the high ground and actually gets solo XP for that.
Yeah, I made sure Emo got nothing there.
That's going to help Baboka quite a bit. Yeah, mid lane was quite even up until that point. But, yeah, no one... first game basically didn't exist. That was a very rare sight to see. We'll see if he can have a better time this time around. Ducalis trying to disrupt this a bit, but wave is going to be pulled from both sides, it seems. Satanic. See how fast of a battlefield you can get this game. That's he doesn't have skewer. Okay, well, he didn't have mana for that. All right. Well, don't see that every day. I mean, it's a good recognition from Satanic.
Yep. Be careful making mistakes around this kid. He'll take advantage immediately.
And we got the Shackle in the bot lane into the Hoof Stomp. Good amount of damage on the Fly.
Oh, they're also going to get Beyond up top. Nicely
Beyond
played.
goes down to the Fury Swipe, says DM. Actually, it gets closer to the tower and tanks a little bit too much. Other side of the trees, one more right click will do it, so Baboka ends up netting himself a kill. Another one, in fact.
On that top play, this is why the Darkseer lane is so difficult against Ursa already, but then add Oracle to the mix and good luck. Ursa jumps on him. If you try to surge away, you get purged. You die on the spot. And Beyond, I think this is exactly what you want to do in this situation. Just start playing the left side of the map. Don't lane anymore. Stack camps. Missing a little bit of potential efficiency here, but probably not something he has played enough on the new map. But Darkseer is technically able to stack both camps simultaneously by casting Ion Shell early on the camp, having it reset back, and then re-aggro because of the shell. And then while you do that, you go and pull the next one. So you can stack both, but it does take some practice. And you need to bring the numbers down. This was a lot easier to do around the triangle area, where the pulls last longer. So when you're doing it on these smaller camps, you really need to nail it. You have probably a second total of window. But it does make quite a big difference. You know, he's effectively missing out on a camp here. He had plenty of time to set it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A little group up here for Yakult as Ollie joins the party. Baboka has just been all over the place. On the other side, PARIVISION looking to have the same idea. Oh, they're actually going for the Wisdom Shrine.
Oh, no one with the invis. Oh my god, this is going to end badly.
Actually, will pop the smoke as DM coming in, and no one, like you said, comes in invisibly, blocks him off. Hoof Stomp to follow. They're fighting for the Wisdom Shrine. This is probably a bigger deal as Fly literally flies off the map. And it's Baboka. Oh! Gets the skewer again. We're seeing they get the shrine onto Ollie. And both members of PARIVISION were stuck on the cliff. One TP out, but yeah, no one has nothing at the moment.
They could actually ruin his game here.
They literally could.
If they kill his courier, if they realize this...
They will not.
No. If they would have stuck around with a hero and somehow
20 seconds, though. Oh my god.
Could you imagine if someone would have killed his courier here?
Man, the skewers onto cliffs the last few days.
Well, Baboka definitely doesn't disappoint so far in the mag. I thought that was going to end way better for PARIVISION when no one had the Invis rune and came in from behind, but had to break the Invis to kill the Luna as they were not stacking up. Generally speaking, when you fight for a Wisdom Shrine, a lot of the time 2 or 3 heroes will be around that ring. And that's where the Shaker can really come in and get everything done.
Yep, he was looking to grab his hair, then realized, no one. Getting gone on again. There's Emo. Apply the pressure with Ollie. It's a big impetus. He will brush it off. The Stampede was needed, though. As 9 class comes in with a casual little chicken finger and retreat.
Yeah, 9 class only level 3. The support on the other side, both level 5. So, advantage Yakult. Of course, they did get both wisdoms, so that'll do it.
Stupendous.
Babok in an interesting position here. I'm not really sure what he's trying to accomplish over on this side, but will get spotted by the Watcher and take it out. Just wants to dive the tower and look for a skewer. PARIVISION had already backed off. Now Fly will be able to take this tower, at least most of it.
9 class is level 3.
Yep. If only someone had told you that a minute ago.
Man.
He's still level 3.
He's still level 3.
9 class, level 3.
Shockwave onto 2. They're going to skewer the level 3 Shadow Shaman. Not sure if you heard about that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us in the last 3 seconds. Fly gets the kill.
Not the biggest kill, of course. He is only level 3.
Yep.
And has a pretty low respawn timer. That's usually how it is for level 3 heroes, which is kind of crazy that he is only level 3, 930.
Yep, that is true.
But the good news for him is he's pretty close. He's actually level 4 now. What do you know?
Okay.
You got it. He's officially online. Good start for Yakult, though. Overall.
Yeah, it feels like we've said this.
Yeah.
Definitely a different game, though, as
Emo calling to Kalos' bluff here. Has the Fate's Edict, though, but reinforcements are arriving.
Ollie and Fly, along with Baboka, making their presence known. Ducalis are going to turn this around onto the Storm Spirit, though. They actually delete him. Baboka looks next on the list. The Eclipse does nothing. Fly, trying to run away, but the fissure is godly. They can turn this into another kill. This would be huge, and the Shackle is there. It should ensure it. Satanic takes another one home. Man, oh man, what a turn of events.
So much for a good start.
9 class still level 4.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's close to 5 after that, and it'll help. Yeah, well, that's the thing about Shaman. Even if you're only level 4, if you get your 2 disables off, they're still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So.
My prayers are answered. My prayers are answered.
Yep. Okay, maybe we should just stop commentating. I think the heroes can tell the story themselves.
Very true. What do you think of the Earthshaker now that you've seen it firsthand, the facet? I feel like I don't notice it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to notice. So
I'm sure it's good, though.
I think you kind of just need to look at some team fights and see how much damage that did effectively to really get an idea. I think Echo Slam has always been a spell that's about feel, because when you... Oh, hang on. We're going to see EM being killed here. Do you know what I mean if I say there's some spells in Dota where the numbers don't really explain the whole story? It's like you read Echo Slam, you're like, oh, 90 echo damage, 100 initial damage. And then you make this image up in your mind of how much damage this actually is, and then you see a fight and Shaker does 2k. You're like, huh.
It adds up.
There's all the echoes, the aftershock, the whole combo, the swings you get in between. It's the facet just plays further into that, where it's a game of feel with spells like that. You just need to have enough experience of, oh, this is how much it usually deals, and then kind of play by that.
They're showing out the Blink Dagger for no one with the Echo Slam onto Emo. But the RP onto several heroes. Baboka not able to follow it up, though. DM with the Stampede. Kind of all alone now. PARIVISION as a whole doesn't look like they want to fight. Pops the Blade Mail. Eclipse still rips through him. So maybe a bit of miscommunication for PARIVISION. But even with that trade, they'll take it. Mechanic now has Battle Fury. This is 1,800 gold on top of the Battle Fury. This is insane timing.
That's actually unbelievable amounts. He's 2,000 ahead of a Luna right now.
And 9 class with the Shackle onto Baboka. Satanic come into play. The Enchant Totem sets up the last right click. The Enrage to follow. Emo. That's to zip away. Rasta has got to be one of the scariest heroes to face if you're a Storm Spirit, especially at this stage of the game.
Yep. Any single misstep, 100 to 0'd easily by this hero plus Ursa.
Would you prefer BKB or Lincoln's?
BKB.
Or both?
I think he needs BKB no matter what, because he needs to solve multiple problems simultaneously. If he doesn't have BKB, he can never really jump in with confidence against a Shaker Blink, against a Centaur and a Shaman.
Yeah.
With BKB, he knows at least he has 9 seconds of play hero. But, well, let's get to the Orchid first.
Ollie spotted. Will be brought down. Another kill for Satanic. 5-0. This kid is a beast, man. Kind of giving me flashbacks of Pure from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Just super strong.
And Samael from 10 years ago. Feeling old yet?
That's kind of crazy, actually.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nemo gonna zip in for the rune. Does get it, but it might cost him. But a huge RP from Baboka. He is waiting. Echo Slam, though, to counteract this with the Shackle onto the Storm Spear. One more right click suffices. Double kill for Ducalis. That was looking really good, then really bad, then really good for PARIVISION. 4 dead for Yakult, and all it cost them is an Oracle.
And that Oracle doesn't even give them experience.
Oh my god, is this actually going to be a solo kill on the Fly?
Oh, you betcha.
Satanic.
No
one more attack will do it. A full team wipe. No emotion on his face. That is a killer right there.
He cracked a little smile.
Jeez.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's a smile. See, that's emotion. No one knows how it's done.
Yeah, he's had more years to develop that. DM is probably dead.
Yes, and although no one with the enchant. Emo, he's pretty low. The double edge to come into the fissure. They get the trade, which should never have been a thing. Holy jeez. PARIVISION just rocking them.
This is a very one-sided affair right now. A few minutes ago, it was looking pretty even, but every singular move we've seen, and that's in spite of Baboka playing really well. Like, he's been hitting these excellent fast skewers into 3-hero RPs. There's another one. This is only on a support, though, but nothing comes
in.
free.
He actually kills Baboka before Ducalis dies and gets a second on top of it. 8-0 on this bear. He has Blink, and I thought he was going to go for the BKB. He's like, screw it. Let's just get Skull Basher instead.
Yeah. I like this a lot because, like we talked about earlier, this hero is one of the few carries that can solo kill Storm. And with this, with how far away Emo is from anything,
oh man,
Satanic honestly can kind of just pick a hero and kill it right now. The Orchid from Emo will help once it comes out in 100 gold here, because that does give him counterplay if Satanic jumps someone else. But until that point, kind of just pick his target, and if he gets a first hit bash, they're dead. If he gets a second hit bash, I mean, I think Storm realistically with like human reaction times probably will get hit twice by Ursa at least.
Oh, Fly. Echo slams back up for no one. It's going to start with the Enchant Totem, the Fissure to follow. They don't need it. They got more members where that came from. Another death to Fly's name. Satanic with the Basher. Shard almost done. I feel like we can't keep up with the items here.
Yeah, he would be happy if the Tormentor was up right now, but has to wait another 3 minutes. He would have grabbed it already.
He could get Roche anytime he wants.
Yeah, basically.
At this rate.
And they are planning their next move up top. This gate play is kind of interesting.
Well, Satanic got another kill. That was a big one onto Emo. Oh my god. All right. Well, I don't know where you go from here.
No.
They're just getting slapped around.
This Ursa's net worth bar looks like an Alchemist game with free farm.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, how far he is ahead of the enemy carry right now.
TP is good. And Satanic. Shard about to come. Losing a bit of farm inefficiency here. Not finding the kill, Cinderant, for once.
Yeah. Not his best game ever. Wasted 5 seconds. There's room for improvement there. Definitely will be watching the replay after this game to find those 5 seconds where he could have hit a creep camp.
Yeah, of course.
18-minute power rune time. PARIVISION are hogging it for now, and it will be Arcane for no one.
Oh,
Emo wanted it. Oh. Okay. He's still got
gonna
Hex.
get Hex from the other side. The RP to follow, though. They're gonna be able to take out Rasa to start things out. A big wall as well. But you can see the net worth advantage paying off as the false promise on the Satanic. The Storm Spirit gets deleted by the Echo from no one. Fly doing circles around the tree. Actually, Satanic in a bit of trouble here. All alone in this 1 versus 2. This is going to be a ginormous kill for Yakult. The Satanic will taunt and eventually be brought down. Meanwhile, though,
he had like half a
remaining
second
members
to blink.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Baboka gets a nice skewer onto no one. We'll be able to blink away after the fact. Now, Ducal is in a bit of trouble. DM will likely be fine. So the eventual rundown. Yeah, maybe we can see the replay on that. That was, if that's the case, the single mistake that Satanic has made this game.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Maybe he's just not used to having all these items, including
Dire's
Blink, at
bottom
19
tower
minutes.
is under attack.
Just forgot he had it, you know?
I'm gonna say that's unlikely. I don't think memory loss generally kicks in when you're 15, but we're gonna see here.
Well, it did
Keep
for
an eye on
me.
his inventory here. I feel like there's a full second coming up now. Or half a second here. There. Okay. All right.
Nah,
Also
that was a little
very.
close.
Oh, never mind.
That was close.
I thought I saw half a second.
Whoa, that's
Oh, yeah.
emotion. That's emotion. That's what we like to see. And happy again.
No.
And then
He went through
again,
the whole roller coaster.
the apathy takes over. That's a good
Okay,
little video to
I
have.
totally get that reaction. To me, it looked like he had half a second. He had like less than 0.1.
Yeah.
And he was, I bet you he was mashing his dagger, and then he got clipped by an ion shell. So, couldn't
happens
quite
to
get
the
it
best
off.
of us.
Yeah, I should have known better than to say he could have done it better. It's, of course, not a possibility. Well, the dust settles. That was a really good fight for Yakult. You keep the game alive with another great play from Baboka, setting the whole thing up in a 4-man back wall, but back to business. Satanic.
Whoa, gets the
bash.
bash. Oh.
Dire's
All right.
tower is under attack.
And it's funny that he's actually going for the BKB before the shard, even though he had plenty of money for that. That won't be too far away. Emo expends every bit of mana just to catch up to DM, who
For what?
will casually walk away.
Yeah. Not really an easy kill to begin with. And
Oh.
if there's, oh, okay. There's the
Nice.
Tormentor.
Yeah, all right. Nice. That's like, do you need help? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'll get the shard for myself. Why not?
Yeah, Ursa, one of the few carriers that can solo Tormentor.
I'm a little surprised they haven't gone Roche. We've been seeing Roche at around 19 minutes, and this is an
Yeah.
Ursa that is absolutely destroying.
That's true. Especially considering you could just do it with the Shadow Shaman, just the two of you, so you don't even need to make it obvious. You can still show out on the lanes, but maybe the mindset here, which I think is an interesting way of potentially thinking here, is with the game state, that's kind of the only way maybe PARIVISION feel like Yakult can truly come back, is that you give them a team fight that's favorable to you around the pit. So instead, maybe if you were to find a singular skirmish kill bottom half, they take it now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Or maybe it's time after all. Now it is. Sometimes there's also not more depth to it than maybe the team just didn't think about it early enough, or, you know, had other plans, were busy with other stuff. Maybe it's not natural that you're there in the area with the right heroes at the right time. And I also think when you're playing Dire, you would much rather kill the Roche down here. So he obviously needs to be post 20 minutes then, or pre-15. Just kind of...
All right, well, he will have that second life. He has his BKB, and the shard only 700 away as the Serpent Wards are going to be used for this tier 2 tower.
Dire are scanning.
Emo is waiting nearby, though.
Oh, this gate play is not obvious at all. They're already pushing bottom. But Satanic has other plans. This is a two-pronged attack. Good read, though. Fly does figure it out, just barely in time. Ollie might end up dying here, but he's a much less valuable snack.
Yep. Deer are delicious. I can attest to that. As, oh, Echo Slam already used,
maybe?
but the RP going to save the Storm. See if the rest of the team can connect with PARIVISION as the Stampede is popped. 9 class joins them.
That's
no one now on the
RP
high
back
ground.
wall for 0 kills.
Yeah. Well, it was a trade for Stampede and Echo.
Wow. Feels like less important spells overall, though, when you look at the grand scheme of the game. Without RP and without back wall and with an Aegis, I think the whole map is super scary now for Yakult. And the counterplay against this Ursa plus any jumping stun, non-existent, kind of. I don't really know what they would do to stop this. Satanic will probably look to at least take the top tier 1. Just needs to do a couple of attacks on that, and it's a done deal. It will indeed. No, he'll go to the wave first. No efficiency missed.
Yeah, just a casual 4K net worth lead between number 1 and 2 in the game. No big deal here. That's a full item.
Yeah. And Luna will, of course, work on Butterfly. Mandatory against Ursa. Force him to buy MKB. You gotta do it.
Does it actually force him to buy MKB?
I would say so, yeah. I think the overall efficiency from Satanic in fights, if he can't reliably kill the Luna fast enough. But until she is threatening the Butterfly, he absolutely does not need to buy it and can just focus on other things.
As normally, with the kiting of the, not that that's an issue here, because he's so far ahead. Nullifier is usually one of the best items for Ursa's. Against, so far there's Yules. That's pretty much no force staff as of yet. And the zip in from Emo. Tries to find one, but the Stampede and now 9 class with the Hex to get away. Oh, they're going to try to turn this. DM, foot stop. Oh, the Echo is too slow from no one. As Emo and company able to clean up their intended target, which was Ollie. Or 9 class, that is. Ollie is the trade. So support for support. Into the trees. They actually do TP out.
Damn, that was really well done by Yakult to only lose 1 there. Looked like it was going to be additional kills for the side of PARIVISION. Of course, they will still get the tower that they came for, but you got to look for silver linings right now on the Radiant side. It is a very difficult game. You, of course, down the stretch, your lineup, it's very good late game. No doubt about it. These matchups are difficult. PARIVISION did such a good job in the draft here, setting up all their lanes for success. In particular, the top lane was just super easy. You're seeing the rewards of getting a totally free lane on your carry, in addition to shutting down the enemy offlaner. Sometimes both have a good time.
Yeah.
But this time, only 1 player came out of that top lane the way they were hoping to.
So Nullifier is actually the choice here.
Yeah.
See if he regrets that once he sees the Butterfly. I mean, he should be anticipating Butterfly anyway, though.
Yeah.
Either way, this is going to be better at killing the other heroes, regardless.
Makes sense. He wants it against Surge as well.
Satanic solo pushing right now. Looks to be a free tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As the BKB now up for no one.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And
attack.
Nullifier just 400 away for the bear.
Now 0.
Indeed. So Aegis is going to be expiring here in just a moment. They only gained 3K for PARIVISION.
Gained a lot of map control, though. They took out 2 additional towers, right? I think. Mid tier 2 and bot tier 2.
And Fly. All the hopes and dreams of this series on him, it feels like. About to finish the Butterfly now. And for Emo, BKB is still a bit away, about 1,500.
Really struggling on Storm this game. It's a complete polar opposite of game 1, where he was having a field day. Now he's 1-6-6. A terrible scoreline on Storm Spirit in particular. This hero is very much about getting the ball rolling and getting the stacks up. He's got 4 stacks of Galvanized, which is basically nothing. And no items to show for it. And he bought an offensive item too, mind you. He bought the Orchid and found, I think, 1 kill since he got it, maybe? So, really doesn't feel all that great. Luna now continuing down the path of Satanic. He's going to be playing without BKB with this, if Fly were to commit to buying out the Satanic later.
Dyer's bottom tower is
It's
under
kind of an
attack.
interesting choice considering you're playing against so many stuns.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But hoping that his team can cover him, I guess. If he were to be the target. Just hoping he gets saved by an RP.
No, this is the final tier 2, and they get it without even needing Aegis. Roche, minute and a half away from being able to spawn.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What are the 25 talents for Ursa? Oh, that's right. The Earthshock 2 charges.
Yeah. Generally the one we see people take because of the shard.
Yeah, pretty absurd. Satanic. Gonna smoke up with the rest of his team is Baboka, RPs, and Illusion. Smoke didn't even pop. Now it does. Gonna be greeted by the real members. He gets eaten up by the bear. No one with the Echo Slam onto the Luna. Fly. Butterfly doing a pretty good job of letting him evade some of these attacks as he tries to run away. Earthshock to follow. Vacuum. Try to kite Satanic. Remember, he's gonna get those right clicks off though. The bash comes, but at the last moment, Emo comes to save the day. Trying to turn this around, but Emo, he's gonna be the sacrifice instead. It's a 3-for-1. They do save Fly, but at what cost, Cinderin? Nullifier onto Beyond.
That's right, Breaky. He's gonna
Fissure,
get him here.
Bash, Hoof Stomp to follow. That's a buyback on the Emo. They really want this bear. Satanic in a lot of trouble now. He will fall.
Get him. Okay.
So 3 dead for PARIVISION. Double buyback required from Yakult.
That was expensive. Oh, you'll get more?
Yeah, Emo basically out of mana. Nice fissure from no one, blocking off a majority of the team here. But I do believe the Centaur will fall regardless. Now, I think the question is, how fast does Roche spawn here? If you can somehow take this away.
Yeah, confronting the clock.
It's about a minute.
About 45 seconds here.
Yeah, it's a little too close.
Yeah. They're not going to get it in time. They had to, like you said, they had to burn some meaningful buybacks, but those were big kills to get. And the fact that Luna survived through all of this means that Fly is now closing in on this Satanic. And he's also closing in on Satanic himself. Now only 3k behind. That is, I believe that is called frustration. I'm not so familiar with human emotion, but I do think that was a good illustration of that.
I agree with that on both counts.
Yeah, thank you.
Still not queuing up an MKB for Satanic. I mean, the Butterfly saved him, along with his teammates, of course, but he's going for the Swift Link and then eventual upgrade of the Basher to Abyssal.
Yeah, so he's never getting an MKB.
Well, unless you get rid of boots.
The Luna there would have died if the Nullifier was an MKB, right?
Yes, 100%,
so,
for sure.
But that's also, it's such an isolated situation. And there are so many other things that could have happened where the Nullifier is better. So I don't think this was a bad choice. No. It just showcases why the Butterfly and Luna is good. Because Ursa doesn't ideally want to buy MKB and Nullifier. So you kind of have to take your pick. If you buy the item against Luna, you're worse against everyone else, including Darkseer.
So if he's going with this itemization, do you get rid of boots at some point once you get the 25 talent and then go MKB, or is that just you're too slow still?
I could see that. I think when he has Abyssal and I guess Swift Blink,
Double damage.
Could do it.
There's smoke from Yakult. The masters of defending.
Yeah, they play really well on defense, I have to say. I've been very impressed with their ability to fight on their own half in seemingly every game that they're behind. They make the enemy team work for it.
Emo has a damage rune, it seems.
Yeah, they want to put it to use, but it's running out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. What a weird situation. They smoke, stand still, and leave. I mean, they obviously don't know for a fact where PARIVISION are, but they probably have a pretty good idea, and they're kind of just hoping they'll run into them. Not happening, though. PARIVISION wisely waiting for someone to show in mid.
All right, this would be a big pickup. This is really risky, though. Abyssal Blade now online for Satanic.
Oh, wait. Oh, they left the pit.
They start Roche, and they exit. Very tense moment for Yakult. If they lose this fight, it could just be the game, potentially.
Yeah. That's why we gotta watch out for some law and order.
What will the judge rule? Who Who's he in favor of today with that gavel of his?
Radiant are scanning.
Roche
Mid
number
call.
2, ready for the plucking, Cinderin.
Should be about to go red. I think it went red for just a fraction of a second, but they probably didn't get any audio cue for that. This is quite the standoff here.
Yeah.
Ursa versus River.
They're literally standing there.
It's hesitant to walk into
All right, now
water.
they're going to pause so they can stand a little bit longer. Very important. I mean, if he had Abyssal, he kills him there too, though. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
One or the other.
now,
And it was also stupid close without it. He only survived because Storm pulled him and he got vacuumed.
how greedy are these players? So you blink in. Do you Abyssal right away, or do you just assume you're going to bash with the overpower and then you wait to Abyssal slightly?
That depends which hero you're jumping, I think.
Luna.
If you're jumping Luna, I don't think you should instant Abyssal, but you should if Luna had Pike. But since she doesn't, I think it's better to go for a couple of swings and then Abyssal after. If you think she's going to get saved by Darkseer, you pre-nullify her. You know she doesn't have BKB, so...
Yeah, that is true.
But against Storm, you instant Abyssal, right? You just have
All right, PARIVISION smoking up.
This
Going
would be-
directly into the area that the Luna was farming. Emo, a moving ward. Ward's placed. Emo has a feeling. Has the gem, actually, so he knows for a fact.
I saw them ward.
DM.
I think DM, yeah, he saw him on the edge there.
Oh, Emo. Yeah, this is going to be a hard one.
Tower is under attack.
But if nothing else, it boxes them out and enables this to get started. Now Roche will roar. And Yakult will have to fight this.
I believe so. They got to be quick, though. Titanic starting it off. Ori at half health, and this is going to go pretty fast. Emo ready to zip in. This is going to be big. Does zip in, but Titanic gets the Aegis and the Roche as DM is killing.
Oh my god!
He kills Ollie with just a blade mail. Oh my goodness. At pro play, you do not see that very often.
So I think
Very satisfying as a Centaur player.
I think what happened was he piked him and fired all the shots really fast. And, I mean, you can't do anything at that point.
boy.
You have to just assume that the Blade Mill is going to be cast, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Literally.
Was he at full HP from the start?
I think so, yeah. I mean, that was 4 max range impetus shots.
Yeah.
That's so much damage. Gonna see the replay
There
here.
we go.
So,
Yeah, he's at full HP.
all the shots are in the air, and then he pops the Blade Mill afterwards.
Oh, man. That is, that's one of the best
Emo.
plays in the tournament for sure.
Opening onto no one, but
It just doesn't have the impact he was looking for. No one has the shard, so gets the enchant totem off of the fissure. That's a TP out from Fly. Emo has almost no mana here. Can barely even go through the gate.
he's gonna chase him.
He is.
3 seconds on the
Yeah.
TP.
Soul Ring though, Emo.
But this is a guessing game, and he guesses wrong.
Yeah. Good attempt from no one. Would have been a really big pick. Oh.
What? Oh, no way he walks into him, right? Oh, it's close.
Yeah, they don't have any scans, it looks like. Emo's very, very patient. Okay, he's going to find a little Darkseer here. Vacuum to start, but the Stampede's going to close the gap for the rest of the team to catch up. As Emo goes to the north to deward. Not going to find anything, though. Gets the Watcher. All right, so how much can PARIVISION get with this Aegis, Cinderin? Swift Blink. Is that actually completed?
Oh, he's missing the...
Oh, okay. Eagle Song still.
It's close.
And it will be an MKB after the fact, so...
Yep. Makes sense.
And
'Cause
he's
then he can swap out the
25 right
Facebook.
now, and he, I assume... Wait. He actually went for the overpower attacks.
Really
Now
wants to overwhelm the Luna then. Like, this
Okay.
is him saying, I want to stick on my target the moment I get in. Valuing the survivability less, but getting more burst. Of course,
Okay.
this is 18 subsequent max attack speed attacks here if you go in with a precast overpower.
Yeah.
So it is very. I mean, both of these talents are very strong. So.
Yeah, it's more if you're getting rid of boots, you would think you'd want that second mobility option, but understandable. I mean, you could get rid of Battle Fury, actually.
Eventually, yeah. Interesting, Satanic went for the Pyrrhic Cloak. I think when he fights Luna, that could be a difference maker as well.
Yeah. Is that before resistance or after? Because Enrage is kind of insane.
Reflection is before. Otherwise, Blade Mail on X would be terrible.
Yeah, true,
right?
True.
I think all reflection is always done before coming.
No one looking for the opening. Baboka is spotted. The Fissure, who actually blocks him in a corner here. Very awkward. I don't think they can see him, though.
Nope. They're definitely cornered in their bases here. Or in their base, Yakult. Now, the Pike has been completed for Fly, which is very good news for him. It gives him a chance against the Ursa now to reposition. And will next item will be the BKB, and then he's close to being maxed out, just wants to upgrade the Crystallis, and then I guess Moon Shard, Axe, and Shard, so just another 20k to go.
Yep, no big deal.
To be truly maxed out.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing the different build from the other day where it was Ags pretty much right off the bat for Luna. It was pretty damn strong.
Just not a great build against Ursa. Or Centaur, for that matter. Stampede out of it is a pipe buyer. So I definitely agree with Fly not buying it here, in spite of being with Storm, who's one of the best carriers of that Eclipse.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, even these illusions are annoying to deal with that evasion.
Baboka might fancy this. No. Specifically against him.
Oh, okay. We have Baboka with the opening onto no one. Has to use his Echo Slam. And they actually get the connection onto the Luna. Satanic gonna try to beat him down inside the snake area. Fissure gonna block him off a little bit more. Just continuing to right-click away, and now it's a 1v1 battle. Gets the bash off. Satanic gonna get help from DM very soon, surely. Feels like he can't do enough without the MKB. Fly just barely survives. They've only lost one on the side of PARIVISION, but Yakult lose 0.
How is that the end result of that?
Like, they desperately need the MKB. He'd be
That's
dead
so
like
insane
10 times over.
That Yakult win that fight 1-0. It's a really clutch save from Ducalis immediately onto the onto the Shaker, which means the RP was very ineffective. And they still somehow stay afloat on all of their heroes, just playing around each other, saving each other beautifully. The Vac Wall again from Beyond. Doing a lot of work there. And now they're on the counteroffensive. DM will take the Shard.
Oh.
So it gets the upgraded double edge for more tankiness.
Radiant are scanning.
20k lead for PARIVISION.
That's a clean red scan onto Satanic. This would be the dream find.
Oh boy. Beyond gets the instant hex, Emo. Electric Vortex, Impetus doing quite a bit as well. Satanic pops the BKB and the Enrage, though, and destroys Emo. And now the Echo Slam comes out from no one onto 2. He'll retreat shortly after, as Satanic, his sights are set on the Darkseer. He gets skewered away. Still false promise. Is he going to survive through this is the question. They get the nice shackle, though, onto the Luna in the meantime. Just absolutely stuck in this corner. JK, there's a river there. Fly. Going to take the Enchant Totem, and finally Satanic coming in for the last right click. It's enough. And Ollie will follow suit to the grave, so 4 dead for Yakult.
Yeah, dream find for PARIVISION.
I mean, that's such a hard target to take.
It's kind of crazy that Satanic gets jumped and the outcome is that he insta-kills Storm.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, and they're gonna find the last remaining member up for Yakult, but not for long. That's a full team wipe. PARIVISION in full control of this game too.
They've got a full minute. This is at least 2 sides. You have no Darks here, you have no Luna. Even cute skewer plays onto into the Ursa don't matter because they don't have damage to kill him anyway. Even if they were to skewer him into Fountain, he wouldn't die at this point. Just pop the Enrage and jump out.
Indeed. Yep, so he did get rid of the boots, and Aghanim's Scepter will be next. I don't know if we're going to get to that point. Crazy Ags, though. That means that jump, even if they had a chance, they will not next time, unless they have a silence, I guess. Or the Hex, I suppose. So, top lane taken for PARIVISION. Mid lane looks to be following the same line of thought.
And they can actually get Megas before Darkseer spawns. They push fast enough. Even with this glyph, I think they would still get it done in 20 seconds if they were to just free hit now. Of course, the other heroes can have a say in it.
I think they're going to be a little bit disciplined. Oh, I say that.
Respect the 4v5 at the very least, because if this gets a little bit hairy, Darkseer will respawn, TPN, and counterplay them. But theoretically, the Megas were almost within reach there, and you could tell that Yakult felt that too, glyphing the mid wave.
Yeah, maybe best for Yakult to give up the Mega Creeps, because that seems to be when they're truly able to defend.
Yeah, next week they're going to announce Eternal Envy as coach, and it will explain everything.
Yeah. God, I miss him.
Yeah, heard he's doing quite well for himself, though.
Yeah.
I see for you. I see for you. The future.
All right, so PARIVISION. Next Roche. Not sure the timer on this, but it could spawn in the next 2 minutes. And that will seal the deal, surely, for PARIVISION if they're able to get that as well as Baboka. He's found out. Hex counter-initiate, though. Fissure comes out as DM with a nice, juicy double edge. Pops the blade mail. Flyflight getting tickled. To the high ground. There's the zip-in. Echo Slam onto the Luna. Where's the big bad bear is the question. No one doing so much work. Just a double Echo. How does he solo that? That is insane. And guess who comes to the party? It's Satanic. They didn't even need him. Double kill for him now. Likely a triple to follow. Nope. No one steals it. He deserves it, though, after solo killing Luna.
Yeah, it says it in all chat. Oh, that's funny.
The true bad manners.
Echo, so the combo was Echo into Fissure into Enchant Totem, refresh, Fissure, Enchant Totem, Echo. So he did it in reverse order, basically, the second time.
Man. Buyback onto the Luna. I'm going to start things out on Ollie, but Satanic wants to get the buildings first just to ensure that they get the Mega Creep. Stampede actually finishes off one support. Only 2 remaining now for Yakult. And Satanic having a field day. That is another team wipe, and that is the end of the series. PARIVISION 2-0 in style.
Yeah, these guys are good. I think if there's any doubt right now in this tournament who seems to be the